And I think we are live again. How's the frame rates? Oh, that is better. Good grief. My word, I'm sorry about that. I figured out the problem. There was about 100 gigabytes of just bloat data on my computer that I didn't need. So I deleted it all, and hey, look at that. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Back up to 30 frames per second. Or at least most of the time. Alright, sorry about that, everyone. Let's get back into the stream. Let me open the stream, of course, by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land from which I am coming to you. Live from the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. I'd like to pay my respects to their elders past, present, and emerging, and welcome any Indigenous people joining us today. And let me just bring the stream up on my phone so I can see what I'm doing. There we go, that's better. Okay. Oh, excuse me. Alright. So, let's see. Like I was saying a little bit earlier, so I am getting my sleep schedule back into what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be, you know, just me getting up at 6 a.m. and then streaming by 7 a.m. and then hopefully in the evening, if I feel up to it, streaming again in the evening, my time. Now, I've been, what was that? What was that notification? Ah, okay. Now, the last few days I've been doing evening streams, which I've been enjoying a whole lot, but I need to get back into the habit of doing bi-daily? Streaming twice a day, anyway. Okay. I'll leave the phone alone, sorry. I just had to get the stream up on my phone. Anyway, I don't know, not much has been happening in the world. I did see that Laurel Hubbard was didn't qualify for any position at the Olympics, so I guess all that fear-mongering was all for nothing. All that bullshit about the end of women's sports. I did see an interesting article from The Age that I should have pulled about intersex people in the Olympics. It was talking about intersex people who have high levels of testosterone in the Olympics. It was really interesting, as that's an angle that's not really considered. Because basically, I think there was 2 women where they didn't qualify because their testosterone was too high. And I believe both of them were intersex. And let me just say at the very top of this conversation, sport dumb. So, other than that though, it presents a really interesting question as to, you know, do we, like, where do we draw the line in terms of sports? You know, because there's a question. People want to raise questions. It's a generous way of putting it about trans women being in sport. I mean, what about men who have abnormally low levels of testosterone, or women that have abnormally high levels? What about intersex people? I mean, yeah, it's really interesting. Do we start, like, categorizing people into categories based on the testosterone levels? I know. It's just interesting, though, that after all of that fear-mongering, Laurel Hubbard was not the harbinger of the end of women's sports after all. Funny. Funny that. Yeah. Pathetic. God, conservatives are such crybabies. And speaking of crybaby conservatives, not our host, but certainly within the contents of our next video, let's take a look at some. Okay. So, like I said, not actually like our host, but it's our old friend, I suppose our young friend, Hunter Avalone, joining us again on his journey to being based and red-pilled. Alright, let's hear what he's got to say about going to a pro-life protest. Imagine that. Imagine a pro-life protest. Like, what's that, before I jump in, what's that, excuse me, that little poem about the unborn? Because there's no other right that you can protest and get away with it. Like, how often do you see an anti-gay, or I suppose, I don't know, maybe there's anti-gay rallies, but like, you know, how often do you see like, oh, we want to deny black people human rights rallies, or we need to strip the vote from women's rallies? But when it comes to abortion, it's totally cool to hold a pro-life protest. Let me see. What is that? The unborn political advocacy poem? Let me see if I can find it. Or is it convenience? Convenience. Convenience of advocating for the unborn. Is that... Let me see. It's... The whole... If I can't find it, the whole idea is that the unborn are so... Okay, apologies, something went wrong on our end. Okay, fuck you. The whole idea of it is that the unborn are the most convenient people to advocate for. You know, they won't kick up a fuss if you abandon them. You can drop them so easily. They can't, argue against what you're arguing for. They can't, nuance their own position. They're unborn. So, let's see what Hunter's got to say. Because Hunter, back in the day, would have been pro-life, so, hey. Based in red-pilled Hunter Avalone, take us away.
So I thought this would be a great opportunity to have this conversation with people that were actually out there protesting, and things got a little crazy. They did.
I'm advocating here for where we've seen statistical decreases in abortion.
I don't agree with
and you're advocating for nothing. Even when you restrict abortion, when you make it illegal, you don't see a decrease in abortion.
Decide not to have abortion because of the picture.
I know, facts hurt. Yeah. Facts don't care about your feelings.
You're a Democrat. You don't know anything about facts.
I want to see less abortion. I am pro-life, and I want to see less abortion, my dude.
No, you don't.
You're...
That's right. No, I forgot. Okay, Hunter Avalone, I believe he's still technically like pro-life, but in like a roundabout way. He wants to address the economic circumstances that lead to unwanted pregnancy. So he wants it's still like it's still a little cringe because ultimately people should have autonomy over their bodies. But I remember now his position is that by addressing these economic issues, people will avoid unwanted pregnancies, so that every child that is brought into the world is one that people can safely and happily raise in stability. Just injecting a little nuance.
You're lying to yourself and everyone around you.
What a king.
How am I a pro-life Democrat? Now, am I a Democrat? I'm a social Democrat. But for the sake of the video and everything else, I said I was a pro-life Democrat. I figured that would make enough sense, especially for like laymen and boomers that I was talking to on the street. So that initially sounds like a contradiction, right? Because, well, usually supporting Democrats, well, they tend to talk a lot about abortion and abortion being a right and everything else. That's true. Democrats do talk a lot about abortion in the sense that it's a woman's body, a woman's choice, or whatever. But I'm not as concerned
Anyone's body, mate.
about that, because at the end of the day, that's just talk, right? I'm concerned about what's actually occurring. And what's actually occurring is abortion rates decrease.
Hunter's chat, my god. It's wild.
More due to Democratic policies. Now, there's an argument to be made that there are marginal decreases even under Democrat presidents, but it's usually not the president that controls that much with abortion at the end of the day. When it really comes down to Democratic policies are what overwhelmingly are lowering abortion rates. So the first thing being extremely obvious, the Affordable Care Act, okay? Some people know it as Obamacare. The Affordable Care Act, Biden is looking to expand it in the next 10 years. His goal is to have 97% of Americans insured, okay? And we can look at various different studies that make it clear that access to birth control through the ACA is what drives down abortion rates. The Affordable Care Act provides.
Wow. I'm not like having to dig at Hunter, but like, wow. What do you know? When people are prepared and actually know about safe sex and birth control and everything having all the tools they need, wow, abortion actually goes down. Shock. See, like, listen, conservatives, you either have birth control or you have abortion. One or the other. I mean, like, we should have both, but come on. Be real about it.
Provides women access to contraceptives. The Affordable Care Act made it so that it was mandated that women have access to contraceptives. And we saw abortion rates decrease because it turns out the main driver of abortion is unplanned pregnancies. So by taking a proactive approach, we see really good results here. When young women were able to better access birth control as part of their parents' insurance plans, a provision of the Affordable Care Act, the abortion rate in this age group fell by about 10%. That's according to a study in the Journal of Population Economics. All right, so that's one of them. Here's one written by various doctors explaining how the Affordable Care Act was helping in reducing the rate of unintended pregnancies. And as you can see,
Fucking ad. Really? In front of my salad? Let's just get through this first. Okay. Jesus Christ.
unintended pregnancies. And as you can see, abortion rates fell. This is because access to contraceptives is what leads to a real decrease in abortion. You'll oftentimes have conservatives say, well, I want to make abortion illegal. Okay, well, how are you going to do that? Well, by undoing Roe v. Wade. Okay, well, when that happens, then it's just going to be left up to the states. You're probably going to continue to see abortion in California. State-level restrictions on abortion don't usually result in significant declines. Now, this can be contested.
Not to mention that it drives it underground, and then people put themselves in very dangerous positions trying to access some form of abortion.
Be argued about here and there. Overall, we have a study here that says 23 different laws passed by state governments in an effort to restrict the number of abortions, and it found that none of the policy actions by state governments had any significant impact on the incidence of abortion from 1982 to 1992. So in a 10-year span, nothing. We also have this one right here, showing that countries where abortion is prohibited and then countries where abortion is available without restriction, we see less abortion. In countries where abortion is not restricted, we see less abortion occurring than countries where abortion is restricted. There are some
Probably because countries like that have a much better approach to birth control. Would be my best guess.
socioeconomic factors here. This isn't all just a one-to-one thing. But generally speaking, it seems that although intuitively it feels very correct, ban abortion, we should see less abortion. Maybe if you were able to do some kind of statewide thing, but I don't think you'd be successful in doing that. The best conservatives can hope for is undoing Roe v. Wade.
Come on, Hunter. And it drives it underground. Come on, you've got to address that point.
Which would then just leave it up to the states and wouldn't ultimately lead to any significant decrease in abortion rates. So we can go that route, or we can just go with what's more practical and what's more proactive. So that's my argument as to why I am a Democrat who is pro-life. Because making it illegal doesn't work. And because if we actually want to see real decreases in abortion, we should do what is empirically been shown to reduce abortion statistically. Okay, every single year in my downtown local area, we see a ton of people coming out on the streets holding signs that says, like, abortion is evil, abortion is bad, honk if you hate abortion. And they're those giant pictures of the, like, aborted pieces of fetuses, like the really shocking, gross stuff. So I thought this would be a great opportunity to have this conversation with people that were actually out there protesting. And things got a little crazy. They did.
I'm pro-life, but I'm also a Democrat. And I was trying to explain that although that initially might sound like a contradiction, the reason for that is because we tend to see abortion rates go down due to Democratic policies.
Where is that?
Well, I mean,
Heard of that.
yeah, you can.
Can you name one city or just one?
I can name you. I can give you a large statistic from believe it was 2011 to 2017. We saw abortion rates go down because more women had access to contraceptives, and in doing so, we saw a prevention of unplanned pregnancies, which is one of the leading causes for women who seek abortions. So it's almost like a proactive thing. You know, you're getting there before they can even get pregnant.
So are you okay with abortion up to the moment of birth, which is what the Democrats?
Nope. I want to.
You agree, though? Let's
that is not what the Democrat.
Yes, it is.
No, that's not.
It's in there. It's in there.
I do know the Democrat platform. I voted for Joe Biden. That is not on the platform.
Call up Van Hollen's office and ask him, do you support any restrictions on abortion? I'll buy you lunch if he tells you he supports
Okay, I'm sure, whatever.
Right.
But that's not really
It's
important.
in
What we're
their
talking about.
No.
Even if that was on their website, which
Okay.
I don't believe that it is, but even if it literally was right there on their website, what I'm more interested in is actually seeing abortion lessons, seeing less abortion.
So you would have supported the Nazis because although they were killing Jews, they were very good for the economy. The poverty rate went
nothing
What?
that I just said about was about the economy.
You're
or Nazis.
supporting the Democrats because you think they're better at getting the abortion rates down, right?
Because they are on a statistical
would
level,
we have
yes.
reduced-
Democrat policies like the Affordable Care Act, for example, Obama's the Affordable Care Act.
Yeah, but he wanted abortion in that, and
well,
he got it.
But in that also was the
Piss off! Fuck, I hate YouTube. Fuck me. Fucking hate YouTube. This stupid ad for this shitty phone game that no one will ever play. Actually, you know what's worse? People must play it because they have money for ads, so... That just makes it... Oh, great. Now, Rainbow Wheel of Death. That's cool. Thanks, YouTube! Very nice. Alright, we'll just... Okay, let's go. Come on. Wake up. Fucking hell. God, I hate fucking YouTube. Alright.
But in that also was the provision of contraceptives, which we actually saw from 2011 to 2017, a reduction in abortion rates because the provision of contraceptives.
Okay, but do you know many contraceptives are abortifacients? They're abortive contraceptive. It's a lie from the pit of hell.
Well, when we're talking-
I know, sweetheart, honey, I'm 80 years young. I was on every contraceptive made to man when I was first married 65 years ago. And I didn't know the pill, the
65. So she was married at 15? Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. We're not... You know you're at a pro-life rally.
IUD, all aborted. Okay, so I was killing babies maybe every month.
I'm not even talking about the pill. I'm talking more like birth control in general, like the consistent pill that you take, which regulates your hormones.
The pill. Yeah, I was on it for a year and a half.
Yeah, and under
And it
that...
destroyed my fertility. I was never, ever able to get pregnant.
It can have some adverse effects, but it also helps in many, many ways. And
helps how?
In reducing unplanned pregnancies and reducing abortion.
I'm sorry, you got that wrong, dear heart. But you cannot be a Democratic Party. Why? Because the platform for the Democratic Party is for on-whim abortion anytime, anywhere, and you, sir, paying for it.
I don't know how much of that is true, but what I do know is
it's true because I've been in this war 46 years.
And what I know is true is that under the Affordable Care Act, which Joe Biden wants to expand, we see more contraceptives.
More babies, more dead
That's
babies.
wrong. No, you can.
Sorry, sweetheart. How do
Ma'am,
you know what the platform is?
Ma'am, I can send you
I used to be a
statistics.
Democrat. I used to be a Democrat. Why did I leave the Democratic Party? Because I was abhorrent of on-whim, on-site.
I'm talking
abortion.
about actual real statistics
Yeah,
that show.
I'm a real statistic.
I'm talking about real statistics that
Yeah, so
show
am I.
from 2011 to 2017 abortions decreased because
Slightly.
No, but the reason for that was because I don't know if it was slightly, but the reason for that
I know it was.
The reason for that was because of the access to contraceptives, which was provided because of the Affordable Care Act,
but
a
what
Democrat
I'm saying,
policy.
What I'm saying is a lot of the so-called contraceptives are not contraceptives. They're abortive. They are abortive. You're killing a baby every month.
I recognize that there are arguments to be made there, but I'm talking about like regular contraceptives, like the pill, like a
Yeah,
regular.
the pill, I was on it for a year and a half.
Just if it affected you negatively doesn't mean that it hasn't positively affected a lot of people.
Most women negatively.
That
They
is
don't
untrue,
know.
and if that were
They
the case, then it wouldn't be
Sweetheart,
prescribed.
when I found out that I was putting a pill in my body that could kill my own innocent.
Is it okay if I come into the stream? I don't have my vaccine passport. It's okay. But you have to wear a mask.
Some preborn son or daughter, I got off it like that.
Well,
I didn't know
I
that.
think we're talking about different pills. There's the consistent pill that you take all the time, which regulates your hormones.
I know.
And then
you're
there's
talking about the morning after pill.
and then the more I think that you're talking about the morning after
no,
pill.
I'm talking about the pill you put in your mouth every day. Every day, and I
Well,
did it for
those
a
are
year
not
and a half.
abortions, but when
They are abortions.
we
They're
see
killing
less.
the baby.
That's not
They're
true.
killing-
No, it keeps them. It keeps.
Are you a woman? Do you know what a woman's body does?
These are liberal
You don't.
identity
You don't.
politics, though.
You
This is.
don't.
These are liberal arguments,
Mine
ma'am.
is closed, and I'm sorry. I hope that the scales will come off your eyes.
We want to see abortion rates go down. What's
What was it? The scales would come off your eyes. That's a little weird. Also, I'm sorry about the fucking lag. I'm gonna have to end it after this video because there's just too many problems this morning with the computer.
Trying to stop killing.
So
We're
what's
not
your-
talking about just stopping rates?
Okay, the way
from
that you
going
stop
down.
it, but the way that
have
you
to
stop
make-
things-
murder is illegal, right?
So what's going to happen if we
Okay,
make abortion
so
illegal?
if we legalize murder, would you say, oh, it's okay to have murder legalized? We're going to get the rates down by increasing people's job prospects.
So how would you reduce
to
abortion?
make it illegal.
Okay, so how would you do that though? It would be by undoing
Pass
Roe v.
laws
Wade,
and
right?
Doctors who do abortions would go to jail.
Okay, so the only way that you'd be able to do that is by undoing Roe v. Wade.
Correct.
And if you undid that, then the federal mandate would no longer exist, but you'd still see abortion in states like California.
Right. Right.
So you
what?
wouldn't be reducing abortion.
So we're not going to stop.
And we've already seen there are actually studies. I can send you one.
In about 20 states, that would reduce them.
I can tell you right now. I can
You
send
make them illegal, regardless of whether.
Sir, I can
Why
send.
don't we go back to the first thing you said? In the
Yeah.
beginning?
Wait, no. I want
You
to.
haven't
No.
addressed
Let
that.
him finish. Go ahead.
No. This is what I'm saying is very
Yeah.
important here because there are also states that you can look at that have put abortion restrictions in place.
And they've reduced their rates.
No, they haven't. That's the thing. Is intuitively, you're right. On an intuitive level,
The
it sounds
Supreme
like it
Court
should,
has
but it
stayed
doesn't.
all the laws. Come on.
No,
you
because
know that.
because they were able to cross.
God damn it. Oh my god, this fucking Udi shit, really? Oh man, Hunter is such a champ, really. Oh. There's a level of stupidity that I can deal with, but pro-lifers, I don't know about that. These people are real fucking dumb. And absolute degenerates. Seriously. It's like I was saying earlier, like, it's okay to deny people human rights when we're talking about the unborn.
Sounds like it
Court
should,
has
but it
stayed
doesn't.
all the laws. Come on.
No,
you
because
know that.
because they were able to cross
They
state
have-
lines and go get abortions in a state where
No.
where it was legal.
The fact is,
the way
the Supreme Court has just stayed laws in Mississippi. Well, if it's not going to stop it, then why do the Democrats care so much about the restrictions?
because
You tell me that.
because you'd still see women who were then unable to get access to health
less
care and
women will be
abortion and
getting-
contraceptives
so
in
less-
some states.
So you're admitting
No, on a
minute.
statistical level, it would not. We've seen states by states
you're
where they've
arguing the
restricted.
same two sides of the same coin. On the one hand, you said the rates won't go down because they're just going to go to another state, and on the other hand, you say restricting it doesn't make any difference.
Sure. So can I rephrase what I was saying?
Yeah, sure.
Is when you restrict it, I'm sure that you are going to prevent some people here and there from getting an abortion. Sure.
Correct.
But when you restrict it on a state level, we don't see any statistically significant change.
So why do the Democrats mind if we have state laws?
Because usually when getting rid of abortion, that would entail other things. I'm not entirely sure. Probably because they believe it to be healthcare. I would disagree with that. But all the same, we have Democrat policies leading to decreases in abortion. That's what I want. I want less abortion.
You're so.
The Affordable Care Act.
That's bullshit.
Joe Biden is expanding the Affordable Care Act, and that alone is...
They've been telling us for 30 years if people had access to health care, we'd see the abortion rate go down. Actually,
and we literally are.
It's not going down if you count chemical abortions.
The started the conversation with the
RU 486 is causing a lot of chemical abortions.
Exactly.
The number of abortions
You're
is not
neglecting
going
to
down.
bring that into the picture.
Yeah.
Neglecting to bring in what?
RU 486 and chemical abortion.
Woman takes a pill that never has to go to an abortionist.
Okay, you see all of that go down because what we're talking about...
No.
What we're talking about is contraceptives.
Do you know what RU 486 is?
What I'm talking about
day
is...
after pill?
Yes, I'm talking about contraceptives, which
Give us the
prevent
definition
pregnancies
of
to begin with.
They told us that 40 years
The birth control pill that regulates your hormones.
Stop.
Not the pill that flushes out the pregnancy.
The pill is not a contraceptive.
Then that's where we disagree. You
It's
guys
an
are no.
abortifacient.
You guys are literally no. It isn't.
Explain to you how it's
Do you know
Do you want me
why
to
they
explain
changed
that when you
Do you
take
know
it on a
why they
hormonal,
changed
but it prevents you from getting pregnant?
Democrats are all for
man.
on whim abortion.
They
in all
talk about.
50 times,
You're
in all
correct that
50
they
states.
talk a lot about access to abortion, but they talk more broadly about access to health care.
Oh,
And
yeah,
health care
and
provides.
They call abortion health care.
But healthcare
call it
also.
healthcare. How
But
can
ma'am,
killing a
healthcare
baby
also.
be-
Ma'am, healthcare also includes contraceptives, and when we see access to contraceptives, we see abortion rates go down.
Yeah, sure.
So that's the reason I'm
You're
a
believing
pro.
all the lies from the Democrats. What I've lived through, when I was thrown in jail 3 times by pro-abortion police. 3 times.
You were thrown in prison for being.
3 times I've been in prison. Yes, and my car towed twice. $200 it cost me each time to get my car out of tow.
Why did you go to prison?
Because some pro-abortion Democratic police didn't like my signs. And I said, I hate my signs too. I hate these signs. These are dead little boys, dead little girls. But they don't
I
care.
agree that
They don't care.
I agree that it's very sad, and ma'am, I just hope you know that I do care. And as a Democrat
You
who's
can't
also
care if you're
pro-life,
a Democrat.
that's
You
why
can't.
I support what has been empirically
Don't
shown
waste
to
your
reduce
time.
abortions.
Don't waste my time, sir.
It
I'll
just-
pray for you. What's your name?
My name's Hunter, and I just think
Hunter.
this
Oh, okay. I'll
this
put
to me
your name
sounds.
on my prayer list.
It doesn't really sound like you're as interested about reducing abortion. It sounds like you're ideologically
Oh,
driven.
yeah, I just love being in jail. That was real fun.
No,
They
I
didn't
think-
feed me. They didn't give me anything to drink.
I think that this
They
is
had my
more
car
ideologically-
towed. I think that was fun.
I think this is more ideologically driven because
Sure. it's
you're
kind of
talking
like-
about reducing abortion, but in no meaningful way. Whereas I'm a
Oh,
Democrat because I actually want to
I've
see
given
abortion
my
go
life
down.
46 years for this cause.
I'm not saying you personally. I'm saying your
Yeah,
politics
sure.
don't align
Okay,
with it
I'm
on a
gonna put your name
statistical
down.
sense.
Hunter.
Yep, and you can look up my YouTube channel. I used to be a
I don't do any YouTube.
Okay, well, I used to be a conservative, and I'm now a Democrat.
Oh, you can't
so
go from conservative to liberal.
I have, and I
A
can, and I have.
socialist, a communist?
I'm not a socialist. No, I don't
sure
like those.
are.
Nope, I'm a social Democrat.
Communists love. Sir, how do you feel about abortion? You're a smart man.
All right, well, I appreciate the conversation.
You make your
Yeah,
point.
right.
Because birth control.
Again? Fuck me, man. Hunter, how many goddamn ads? Jesus Christ, he's pulling bank. I can't skip this one. I can skip it. Pulling bank in fucking ad revenue. My god, this is like the 4th one. And we're like 4/5 the way through the video. Jesus fucking Christ. My word. Well, I'm happy for you.
Does not prevent.
Not 100%, but it does
abortion.
99.9%.
Birth control leads to abortion.
No, it
Missing
doesn't.
mail.
That's a lie. That is a bull-faced lie.
No.
Shame on you guys for not only lying to
the
people,
teenage sexually
you're
Wait a
advocating.
minute.
You don't even know what the Democrat
teenage
Party
sexually transmitted disease rate has skyrocketed since they started.
We're not
giving
talking
high
about
school
that. We're
kids-
talking about
But
abortion.
it is
That's a non
something.
sequitur. That has
It is.
nothing to do
In
with the
other words,
conversation.
more kids are having sex.
That's not what's important. People listen.
do we get
people
babies?
I'll explain to you. People behave in
Sex?
hold on.
It's sex.
People behave. That's not true because I'm the only one here advocating for an actual statistical decrease in abortion. You guys are advocating for this
So you're gonna
ideological
go
goal.
from 1,000,000 to 900,000.
No, we're talking about law. I don't believe it was. It was significantly.
You don't know what the law.
You don't even know what
Yes,
the
I do. It
numbers
was
are.
statistically.
What's the law in Maryland?
It was
Tell me
I don't
the
know
law
every.
in Maryland.
Sir, I don't need to know every
You
state
don't- you
individual.
know where
I don't need to.
Maryland. If you don't know the
And you're
state law
pro-life.
here, you're not worth talking.
Guys, I'm sorry. This is.
Yeah.
Do you know what
You
these
don't know
are?
what
If
he's
you're
talking
pro-life
about.
and you don't know that Maryland for 30 years
Hold on, wait.
allows abortion.
This
up
is an
to-
ad hom attack. You guys are.
Trying to make excuses.
No, I'm not. That's a
not
lie.
pro-life.
They're lying to you right now,
You're
sir.
not pro-life.
That's not true.
If
I'm
you don't
actually.
know what that-
Guys, you're the one advocating against literally seeing abortion rates decline.
Why don't
When
you
you
just admit
listen,
How about you hold a
Why don't you
sign to
just
prove you're
admit-
pro-life? What are you afraid of with a mask?
I'm putting my mask on because I don't want to get too close to you. So you
know
haven't
that,
convinced
right?
me. So let's make it known to the
you
video.
know that?
Let's just make it known to the video, okay? That I'm advocating here for where we've seen statistical decreases in abortion.
I don't agree with that.
And you're
We
advocating
don't
for
agree.
nothing. Even when you restrict abortion, when you make it illegal, you don't see a decrease in abortion.
Decide not to have
giving me a
abortion
headache.
because
I
of the
gotta go.
picture.
I know facts hurt. Facts don't care about your feelings.
You're
Democrat. You don't know anything about facts.
I want to see less abortion. I am pro-life and I want to see less abortion, my dude.
No, you don't.
You're lying to yourself and everyone around you, sir. Have a good one.
You won't stand
No, I'm not. You're the one that actually. You're the one using that as a virtue signaling ideological tool
Good
to
on-
prevent
good
actual.
on lingo. You've got all the right words, but you don't.
That's what you say when you're losing an argument. That's not true. I want to see less of that.
This is legal in Maryland, all nine.
And that's horrible. I want to see less of it by providing contraceptives. A Democrat
Contraceptives
policy.
do not prevent
A
abortion.
Democrat policy that we've seen decrease abortions.
If you really want to see less of it, making it legal up to the moment of birth is not going to do that.
Good thing that I don't
mean,
believe
come
that's
on.
a single Democrat policy. Maybe don't read Infowars.com.
The Lord said, "Don't throw pearls before swine," and frankly, you have no interest in the truth.
All right.
You don't.
He was telling me pro-life, but the pill, contraceptive pill, works in 3 ways. One of the 3 ways it works is an abortifacient. So that's
Oh my god, Whispers Macmillan here. Jesus Christ.
Some of those, but I'm talking about actual contraceptives,
No,
the
I-
kind that
I'm talking-
hormonal regulate. Those are not abortions, sir.
the pill acts as an abortifacient. Not always, but in some cases. Check it out.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
My
Is Hunter
word.
actually Democrat? I'm a social Democrat, so for them to understand, I voted Democrat, so I felt it was appropriate enough to call myself a Democrat for the sake of argument. I was not as prepared as I could have been for the claim that contraception in general is abortion. Like I didn't even know how to I was like, okay, we're at a new level of derangement here. I was not expecting this. I just gotta stop being so good faith all the time, you know? No, birth control is not an abortion-inducing drug.
Oh, what a surprise.
Pregnancy begins when a fertilized egg is implanted in the wall of a person's uterus. Different methods of contraception work in different ways, but they all prevent pregnancy. The Joe Biden Democrats' late-term abortion. I looked this one up. The first thing immediately it cast out in my mind when I realized that this was a Donald Trump claim. When in reality, Joe Biden has actually explicitly said the opposite. I'm a little bit of an odd man in my party, Biden said. I made the right to life people angry because I won't support a constitutional amendment or limitations on a woman's right to exercise her constitutional right as defined by Roe v. Wade. And I've made the groups, the women's groups and others, so probably means feminists, very angry because I won't support public funding and I won't support partial birth abortion. Now, to be
Cringe.
honest, I don't know who even supports that, but the fact that Joe Biden literally has specifically said this in the context of I do not support that, and that puts me at odds with some feminist groups, speaks volumes to the falsity of that claim. I told the guy, stop reading InfoWars. And, you think he'll take my advice? Probably not. Because it's probably a lie from the devil, like that one lady was saying.
Alright, well done. I mean, look, like, me, of course, I'm a big fan of freedom, so I'm very pro-choice. I mean, I appreciate Hunter's effort in terms of he wants to give... he is pro-life, so he wants to see the reduction in abortions, and he wants to support, economic policies that will reduce the likelihood of unwanted pregnancies, so that every child that is brought into the world is wanted. So, I mean, I can appreciate it, you know, like, while it's not the pro-choice position, I can, you know, meet him halfway. We can meet halfway to work together against these crazy pro-life people. So, hey, thanks for that, Hunter. Like I said, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream because it's just been laggy as fuck. Even though I fixed the problem I was having this morning, it's still lagging. So, hey, we still got to knock that video out. So, thank you all for watching. I love you all very much. If you like the content, then hey, chuck me a follow, subscribe to me on YouTube, and follow me on Twitter. Also, oh wow, the overlay isn't even there. Okay.